In the Great North's episode, Skidmark Holmes Adventure, Tobin played a party girl who will try anything twice. This is funny catchphrase he has, saying it, and then, being a, being a boy who tries to talk in an effeminate, high-pitched feminine voice. That's funny. Let me demonstrate for you what it sounds like. I'll try anything twice. Ironically, Tobin himself, when he's not playing that party girl from Skidmark Holmes, Tobin the next week proved that Tobin ironically revealed that no, he will not try anything twice because of his dream job turned nightmare in Tasteful Nudes Adventure. He was washing pasta for Mama and Papa's pasta restaurant. But yeah, their slogan had a very cleverly disturbing bit of foreshadowing with "Tastes so nice, you'll want to eat it twice." Because that's exactly what they make you do when they recycle their pasta. Because as much as I hate wasting their food, I've always found the notion of cleaning cleaning half-eaten pasta to be questionable at best. I mean, yeah. At first, I wasn't really sure why Tobin had such a problem with cleaning pasta and serving it to other people who will hopefully finish eating the pasta that other people started eating. But having to clean partly eaten pasta also ruins Charles Ham, because it's like no matter how many times Ham washes and rinses his body or pasta, he doesn't think they can ever get clean. However, once Ham explained his pasta recycling news story once Ham explained the pasta scandal to Judy about Mom and Papa always rinsing and recycling their pasta because they can't afford to waste any of it and keep buying fresh pasta each time. They can't afford to keep throwing out all their pasta. I did begin to have a better understanding of the real ethical issues and legal issues regarding health code violations with recycling, with rinsing and recycling pasta. Once Judy brings up, how disgusting it must be to have, because of how old the pasta could be. If they never throw out their pasta, just like if Mom and Papa never throw out their pasta, if they never throw out their noodles, just imagine how old some of those noodles might be. Being touched by, being eaten by dozens of mouths and resting on hundreds of chins. So that's why Tobin and Judy Tobin had to report a news story that would hopefully shut down Mom and Papa's restaurant for good. Besides, the other real reason why I learned to take Ham and Judy's concerns about the rinsing and recycling pasta more seriously, in addition to the fact that my mom also objected to cleaning and reserving partly eaten pasta once I told her about it. To mention this to her is that it turns out that Mom and Papa's lack of sanitation only starts with recycling pasta. It doesn't stop there, because Well, they always because Papa never cleans his fish tanks because the fish hate when he cleans their tanks, and Mama hoards all kinds of garbage in their car. Like they have a rotten salad in a bag meant for snakes to eat mice. However, once however, when Hammond once when Ham's job training at the Italian restaurant crossed paths with the Judy and Gil's job training at the Lone Moose newspaper, so they could report the news to close down the small and failing yet also cheap and unsanitary restaurant that never throws away anything, even after it expires. It actually didn't shut down. It actually didn't succeed in shutting down Mom and Papa's restaurant because it was still open for business again 2 days later. Now, since Mom and Papa are a small restaurant, I'm not going to assume that they blackmailed the newspaper, because they've never seen them to have that huge power or influence over Lone Moose. However, I do think what seems much more plausible and believable here is that the Judy, Gil, and Ham's news story did get some health inspectors over to Mom and Papa's restaurant in those 2 days to tell Mom and Papa and the noodle mascot what they need to clean up about their business if they want to be a functioning restaurant again. Yes, it is. So I think it is very probable that the pasta restaurant where Ham hated working was offered a second chance if they cleaned up their car and their fish tanks and stopped serving the same pasta twice or more. So that's just my speculation. What do you guys and gals think happened with the pasta restaurant that allowed it to stay open after Gil, Ham, and Judy reported the news about them recycling pasta? Because again, no matter how much they clean their pasta, no matter how much they recycle and clean up their pasta, I do at least understand the concerns and worries that Ham, Judy, and my mom all have of like, how old is the pasta that has never been fully eaten? The B story that was just obviously Gil Beavers, Judy Tobin, and Ham Tobin were the A story, but I also really like the B story going on with Bethany and Moon. With Bethany and Moon learning about commercial fishing with Beef Tobin, Honeybee Shaw, and Wolf Tobin. I mean, they didn't catch a single fish, so obviously it got very boring after a while. Maybe they didn't catch a single fish, but okay, maybe Beef only caught a single fish. But regardless, my point is not much was really happening while the Tobin family and Bethany were waiting for some fish to catch, and Moon was forming a crush on Bethany Bones. So, and because of how boring this job shadowing was, where they keep waiting to catch fish that never come, Honeybee and Wolf decided to liven things up for Moon and Bethany by pretending to be the pirates attacking Beef's boat, because of how much Bethany is talking about they need to look out for pirates and enemy ships. And so yeah, when the luring to fish became irrelevant, Bethany and Moon had a lot of fun playing pirates with Honeybee and Wolf. And it's a really funny thing about her name is, yeah, I mean, we all thought her last name, for 2 years we all thought her last name was Bones. Obviously it suits her cryptic character, but it suits her cryptic low-key character, but in later season 4, Itzy to Ruth adventure, yeah, I chuckled inside when Moon revealed that her real last name is, you call her Bethany Boop Patootie, which, yeah, again, it's really embarrassing because her name has the words Boop and Patootie in it. That's why she doesn't want anyone to know that. A lot of other interesting things have happened in the Great North, which I want to update you since season 2. For example, season 3 in season 3 we got to see the debut of Wolf's friend Cheesecake, played by Andy Daly, in Silly and Me Softly adventure. The apartment where Honeybee's brother Jerry lives in What Actually adventure, and Judy's friend turned foe, Stacy B, in Be's All That adventure. Stacy B, played by Edie Patterson. And I have to tell you, I really hate how annoying that episode was and how misleading the title was, because Be's All That only has Honeybee appear in one scene only, and because it focuses on a different girl who. It focuses on Judy with a different girl who's obsessed with bees, and she's part of the Lower 48 Student Exchange Program, which I think should be called Lower 49 States to include Hawaii. But luckily, in season 4, Cheese All That was an episode that focuses on Cheese All That. On the other hand, that was an episode that actually did luckily focus on Cheesecake this time. Cheesecake, Honeybee, and Wolf. And also in season 3 also introduced. Also in season 3, Moon can. Also in season 3, Moon seems to be finished with crushing on Bethany because he met another girl who was closer to his age and height, Quinn, in Autumn If You Got An Adventure. And in season 4, when Moon was worried about going to the practice prom with Quinn, that marked a big turning point for the Great North, because it introduced a new main character for the Great North's main cast. Wolf's Beef Tobin's Aunt Dirt, played by Jane Lynch. And so far she's been very reckless and mischievous, yet good and funny company to have around with the Tobin and Shaw families. Speaking of the Tobin and Shaw families, do you ever think of how fascinating and funny it could be if, like, the Tobins and Shaws went to Fresno, California for the birthday of Jerry or Honeybee or one of their parents, and then they left Kima and Quinn to house sit for them while they were away? Because I always wondered about what new and interesting things could happen if Judy's friend Kima and Moon's soon-to-be girlfriend Quinn ever had a storyline together. And I can kind of see why Wolf was still tempted to eat at Mom and Papa's Ristorante at the end of Tasteful Nudes Adventure. Because whenever my uncle cooks spaghetti for dinner but doesn't use the whole box, I like to cook. I like to cook the uncooked pasta that's left over for lunch the next day or a later date. And like Wolf Tobin, I will. Me and Wolf Tobin will eat almost anything except for worms. really do like pasta that, oh yeah, we really do like spaghetti so much that we will try spaghetti twice as long as it has been thoroughly cleaned up. Sound off in your comments if you think Mama and Papa are still allowed to clean any pasta and noodles after Gil and Judy's news story broke out. And if they aren't allowed to do that anymore, then what else do you think Mama and Papa's Ristorante might have been doing since then to follow health codes and not go out of business from throwing away partly eaten pasta? I mean, if they don't want their food to go to waste, maybe they should just implement a new rule that you should eat what you take. Maybe they have a new harsh policy that's similar yet different to how they acted towards Ham. Maybe have a different harsh policy. They didn't like when Ham would tell them for cleaning up their pasta, but maybe they have implement a new harsh policy towards the rest of their customers to maybe Mom Papa's Restaurant ban trash cans so that nobody can throw away food or drink that they just started eating and drinking but don't have the appetite to finish eating and drinking. Anything to make, I'm sure at this point they'll do anything to make sure that they'll probably do anything harsh to make sure that their food doesn't go to waste while still abiding by the new health codes that I hope they're following it after the story after the scandal that news that Gil and Judy reported on that.